Good evening, boys and girls, no matter where in the world you might be. Just like the Arsenal, I'm back from the wilderness. Here we go. Who's ready to laud, love and wax lyrical about their Gunners? The squad is back!
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
I may not have slept in, I don't know how many hours. What day is it? All I know is I'm reunited live right here with my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies, the team's back. I hope you're all happy. We're going to have a cracking show. So, we love you and at ease, Squaddies!
Love it. Kev, I love that shirt you're wearing. It's very Batman-esque. What's going on there? Two eyes?
Two eyes. Begins with an F. And ends with a...
Feeler?
And ends with a...
I can't see. Honestly, I'm wearing my glasses. I can't see
ends
anything. I'm so tired.
I. Sorry. Yeah.
Oh.
I.
Did you poke your eye out?
No, I said I. I'm trying to show you an eye.
Well, I love it. It's very cool. I'm still dressed in my wilderness gear. I may even smell like fish. Who knows? But I don't care. You know why, Kev? Because the Arsenal won. Oh, worms. I might smell like worms as well, Kev.
No, I don't like the worms. I don't mind.
Real live worms on the end of it.
Cast it.
Yeah.
Love it.
Well, look, it's not about me tonight. It's about the Arsenal. We will share pictures from the wilderness trip. It was wonderful. It was epic. Good evening, everybody in the house. Kev's not wearing a bikini top. Can I just tell you, Kev, the reunion with Vinny and Vespa. Mo, thank you for asking. The reunion with the kids was like Thomas Partey's goal celebration. It was pure joy. It was love. It had energy. It had this vibrancy. Where have you been, mummy? You bitches, where have you been?
Later on, they'll be like, you should have stayed.
Yeah, totally. Listen, Dublin Gooner, you don't want Kev's peck staring at you because it'll be one of those, like, you like the song Blinded by the Light.
Giving you a look. Giving you that look. Yeah, Arsenal.
Okay, so in case I fluff my lines tonight and I can't see your comments, it's only because I'm exhausted. Super Kev, Friday's show was brilliant. And I just wanted to say, we've got some housekeeping before we start waxing the lyrical about the Gunners. 230 joining us in live chat. Kev is going to be the chat counter tonight, all right? He's going to lay down the law, and Tammy is going to be the chat chief, right?
Right, yep.
So, Kev, we got 240 in live chat now. Tell them what you want.
So we want 120. We want half to start with. And then as we ramp up, then we're going to demand a little bit more because, do you know what? It's another 3 points in the bag for us.
So allow me to move into that, shall we? And a couple of the squaddies have already posted about this. So do you guys remember? And tomorrow, on Monday Madness, we'll be doing our next 5 games, right? Mm-hmm. So a few weeks ago, we picked our next 5 games. And quite a few of you, I would say, questioned, cross-examined. You know, when you're in a court of law, I object, Your Honour, to this man's predictions for the next 5 games. Deluded, some of you call him.
There weren't no questioning, Soph. They weren't questioning. They were firing shots at me.
They were. So I had picked 4 wins. You can see it here on this side. Okay. 3-3-3-1, but I got it wrong. Kev had picked, and I tore the paper because I needed to use it for a note on something. Is 3-3-3-3-3. Super Kev, 5 games, 5 wins.
Sophie, you know me, I don't gloat. I'm just happy that the team started to show that fight that we discussed, that we wanted to see. And we said, if we want the top 4, we have to fight and get 5 wins.
Yes. Kev, our resident Liverpool fan, Bonkers LFC, shown up because that's our next game. As we both know, we're not doing any predictions tonight. We're just letting you know that tomorrow night we're going to predict our next 5 games. You'll get nothing.
I like it.
Go on, Bonkers. Bring it on.
We'll deal with that down the road.
Later.
Yeah, we'll deal with that down the road.
He did nail it. He absolutely nailed it. And well done, Kev. I was known as Sostradamus once upon a time in a galaxy far, far away. But now it's officially Campbell Dimas. You are.
I don't know about
one.
Campbell Dimas. Listen, I just want the Arsenal to start showing, you know that hunger that we crave.
Mm-hmm.
This was it, and I know it weren't so-called teams who were at the top or whatever, but you still got to win them. And what was leveled at us before? When's the last time we run on a run of 5 games, 5 wins in a row? So it's really
Kev,
consistent.
on that very show. By the way, Cockfoster's in the house. Lawrence, welcome. Thank you so much for joining. Magic Mike says we've already reached the 120 mark. Now we have 320 in the live chat. So next.
So if it's 320, it's got to be 160. Come on, let's 50%, guys.
We'll keep it
Cheers,
going.
Magic.
So Kev,
And happy birthday as well, Magic.
Magic Mike, yes, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Hope you had a good one. I know he did. He's hanging out with his wonderful wife. Beautiful. We wish you an incredible year. And he'll be going back to London to see his Gunners with his son, who, by the way, Kev, man of the match the other day, scored a blinder.
Goals. Yep, scoring goals. I love
Taking it down that wing. All right, let's get stuck in here. Because, Kev, when we predicted this, we said to each other, we may have disagreed on the first Wolves game because I didn't fancy us at all.
Away. That was away.
Yeah, away.
Yeah.
But we both said these are the games that we have to win. If you get one draw or whatever, fine. But we were both adamant about winning these games because the next ones coming up are tough, right? So we go into the Leicester game. And let's be honest, Leicester, a team that has been lauded in the Premier League for the last few years. They have won the Premier League in more recent times than we have. They won the FA Cup last season. Brendan Rodgers associated with every top job in football, including the Arsenal before Mikel Arteta took over. Many of us fans, including myself, was a fan of Rodgers. Love the way he plays football, love the way he sets up his team, love the way, he manages young players. But it feels like he's a manager, Kev, that has that 3-year ceiling. I don't know if he was mystified by the Man United association, but to be fair to Leicester this season, they've had some absolutely horrific injuries. However, when you laud Leicester the way you do, media, everybody, and they have been the darlings for the last few seasons, I don't want to hear today, but Leicester aren't as good as they were a few years ago. But Leicester have injuries. But Leicester this, but Leicester that. They still had some top-notch players out there, Kev, today.
Of course they did. Listen, this is a game Leicester came to win. They made changes. Why? Because they played quite a few games. Played midweek on Thursday in the Cup. European conference, and now they flipped their squad a little bit. That's what the teams do. We've had to do that before. They done it, and don't let's have it right. They never came to the Emirates and laid down. Not at all. They came and had a go. But the better team won. That's it.
And let's be honest, Kevin, that first half, which, by the way, I got in tremendous amount of trouble at San Francisco Airport, Kev, has having a nice Bloody Mary, relaxing in between flights. And come on, Thomas Partey scored with his head. He's been taking these long-range shots this whole time, Kev. And he scores, and I went a little bit like, and I got in trouble by security guy on the right, and the restaurant person were like, yeah, you can't do that. I said, but Thomas Partey just scored. And they said, who's that? I said, you'll know. In a few days, you'll find out. So anyway, I got in trouble. But Kev, what a moment, huh?
Brilliant moment. And Sophie, we talk about our experienced players coming to the fore and making a difference for us. Helping the youngsters and playing their part. That was a real big part for us today. Getting our noses in front was important. It was a really good header as well. It looked to be a training ground move, because you will look where Thomas Partey makes his run from. He's kind of middle of the goal, and then he runs towards the near post, puts the brakes on and gets the leap and heads it in. 1-0 to the Arsenal. We're on the move. So it was brilliant.
Exactly. UG, where is Zidane? Where is Zidane this evening? Asking for a friend. It was great stuff. All right. So Kev, you mentioned it because we started off fiery, and then they kind of started playing their game. We let them.
They got a grip.
We soaked up the pressure. We soaked up the press. We sat back a little bit, and it felt like one of those 1-0 games, like the Leeds game, the Man United game, where it was like, oh no, is it going to be one of those?
This could be a ding dong.
Yeah.
This could be a ding dong.
And here's the scoop. What I love is that whatever happened at halftime, the Arsenal that came out in the second half was totally different gravy. Would you agree with that, Kevin?
Yeah, I think the team made a couple of adjustments. So to not be so easy to play through. I think because the way we started the game, we were open, we were attacking, we had energy, but you can't keep that energy up all the time. So they got a little grasp of the game. They had a couple of moments where, it was like the one where Barnes went over the top, the one where it got crossed in and Ben White made an absolutely sensational tackle. And then obviously there was the header from Barnes that Ramsdale made another world-class save. So they had their opportunities. So maybe going in at that time was a good time for us. Obviously made a few adjustments. Must have said, look, you just take your time before you go. Don't go so easy. And I thought we managed the second half brilliantly, so managed it really well. And, we were worthy winners. They didn't look like they were going to score second half. We could have got more. But some of them performances, I've got to say, was outstanding.
All right. So why don't we get into that? You want to roll the tape with Ramsdale? Yeah.
Ramsdale. Let's look at Ramsdale. So we did say last week, didn't we, at Watford that, as he got a little bit too cocky, is the confidence too much? His kicking was awful at times last week. This was Ramsdale back. This was a focused Ramsdale. This was Ramsdale better with his feet, good handling. And when it came to making that save, to keep us in the lead, wow, he made an absolute fantastic world-class save again to take it out of the top corner. So Ramsdale for me, Sophie gets an 8 today for me.
All the reasons you said, totally agree with you with everything. His last game was not the best. And what I love is seeing, what we've seen before, Kev, is that Arsenal players have consistently bad games in the past Whereas I feel like if a player has an average game now, they bounce back the game after. And I think that is a testament to what happens on the training pitch, the individual player, his mentality, his DNA, his profile. That save was sublime. I love that he's kind of the Don against this Leicester City side that has been a little arrogant and has a little bravado. So he gets an 8 for me as well today, Kev. Brilliant stuff from safe hands. Oh, and by the way, there's no way Jordan Pickford starts before him for England, is there, Kevin?
Yeah. Yeah, there is. Because, possession is 9/10 of the law. You know that, Soph. Jordan Pickford hasn't put a foot wrong for England. So he's going to be the starter. That's a fact. That's the way it works.
Because, okay, this is what I really can't stand, and maybe we'll do that show towards the end of the season, is that you get picked on trust and merit versus form. Jordan Pickford's having a terrible season with his club. Ramsdale's having a blinder, one of the signings of the season. And I know this is probably going to be the fact, but it shouldn't be anyway.
Listen, if we could have changed that years ago, I mean, look at Ian Wright. Ian Wright was at Arsenal and never got a kick half the time. And when he did play, they were playing him like wide left. Do you remember that?
Yeah, it doesn't make it right.
No, I'm just saying. If that was the case, then we could go back. I'm saying we could go back so many times to where it's gone. It's been weird, you know. So, Cedric. So let's not get into international. Cedric.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts on Cedric?
I thought that they were exposing him a little late in that, as they were gaining momentum in the first half after we had that fast start, Kev. Would you agree that they were picking on him a little bit? That's the spot that they were going for?
I thought that's where they're strongest, down their left-hand side.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just him, because there's Ben White on that side as well, and they kept getting in behind there. So, listen, first off, they were asking questions. Didn't really see it second half. So,
no.
I like to do, they adjust, and then we see. And we adjusted really well, so I've got to say.
Yeah, I thought so too. I give Cedric, again, whatever happened at half-time, we always talk about what the manager does, what the players do, how they affect change. And Cedric, I thought, came out and had a really good, solid second half, and one of those second halves where he did what we want him to do at this point until Tomiyasu comes back. Don't make any mistakes. Just do your job. Don't go too crazy. Kev, 560 in live chat now. Tell him what you want.
Listen, you know what? If there's 560 in chat, I want 300. It's time to ramp it up now. Let's get 300. Come on, squaddies. Everybody in, all you need to do is caress that like button. That's all. Just caress it and slot it in there. Just like Lacazette did with the penalty. Anyway,
nice.
300.
All right, we've done Rambo. We've done Cedric. Who's next, Kev?
You haven't given him
7. 7. He gets a 7.
You give him a 7. I'm going to give Cedric 7.5, Soph.
All right.
I thought he stuck to his task really well. Harvey Barnes is their form player. Very, very, very dangerous player. First half, he had to adjust a little bit. Second half, he dealt with him. Where was Barnes? We never really heard him. So, well done to Cedric. 7.5 from him.
Kev, we're not going to talk about it today, but Ali Jones, we will, of course, in the next 2 days. We'll talk about Diaz versus Cedric. Doesn't look like Tommy's going to be back. There's plenty of time for that. Don't worry about that.
Plenty of time for that. We've got a few days. Kieran Tierney, Soph.
He was good. I think a little bit like Cedric, kind of got lost in the latter parts of the first half, Kev. A bit wasteful with some of his crosses, but again, didn't do too much to, I don't know, blow me away. Just solid performance. A bit an automatic pilot the last few games for me, Kieran Tierney. He gets a 7. Am I being harsh?
Well, listen, that's your prerogative. I think Kieran Tierney done okay down that side. there was some decent link up with Martinelli. But I think most of his job now is to back up Martinelli. Let Martinelli have a go at the full. That's what he's good at. He's good at having a go. So you don't want Kieran Tierney killing his space too much. So he gets it and he gives it and he backs him up. And then when the opportunity arises, then he goes down the line. I'll tell you what he did do, Sophie, which many people might not remember. There was an opportunity where Harvey Barnes cuts in, plays a couple of 1-2s, and the ball gets played across, and Kieran Tierney comes from his side in and clears the ball out for a corner to them. But I think Barnes was just about to hit it, goal bound, and he came in and took it off his toe. Listen, you give him I'm going to give him a 7.5 as well. I thought it was fine today. I thought it was fine. Second half, our two fullbacks were solid second half, especially. But I thought both our fullbacks were worthy of 7.5 today. So I'm going to give them a little bit more than you on this occasion.
Yeah.
So,
and I agree with you, Taiwo. I think he's been asked to play that role a little bit more. A little bit more conservative. You can see that. And Harvey Barnes is a terrific player, by the way. He's not easy to defend in terms of, what Cedric was facing on the other side too. Okay, so KT gets that mark. Who's next, Super Kev?
Benjamin White, Sophie.
Because you're all I have, my boy. You are my life, my pride, my joy.
As you know, many Arsenal fans are on the fence. Some reckon he's a waste of money. Not me, not us.
Nope.
I thought he was excellent today. Excellent.
Kev, I may have gotten... the proof will be in the pudding, we'll see. But my humble pie is... We'll talk about that later because the temperature went up a little bit today. Again. Super Kev turned it up another 20, 30 Celsius maybe. Is that what? Is that
not so much.
Fahrenheit?
Not so much. Just a little. Just a little. Wait. As we're getting there, slow bake. Very slow bake.
It's like that old gravy commercial. Do you remember?
Bisto.
Yeah, the Bisto gravy. Yeah, and you'd follow it, right? I'll tell you something though. I made a note for everybody. My humble pie might be baking on Arteta, but I would like some ice cream with sprinkles on top for my belief in Rambo, Benjamin White, Lacazette, Martinelli, and Martin Odegaard. Okay? So for every Arteta humble pie, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ice cream cones waiting for me.
Martinelli?
I wanted him to start.
But nobody never said he ain't good enough. So.
No, they wanted him to go out on loan. They didn't think he was ready. And at one point, you thought that maybe he wasn't ready.
So, Sophie, I said to you he wasn't ready because he wasn't playing. He got in the team because he took his chance. Remember we were talking about loans and people said, should he go on? I said, no, he shouldn't. Balogun should go on loan. That's for sure. But not Martinelli. So I don't know how you're going to get an ice cream with sprinkles.
I'll just let the squaddies. I was always behind Martinelli starting, even after his injury. He was the option to score goals when Aubameyang wasn't. The squaddies will back me up on this one. I believe in them, just like they believed in me.
But he did. He wasn't ready to start. Now he's taken his chance. Look at him. He's flourishing, Sophie.
Yeah. Anyway, Guna Russ, I hope you tipped Gianni Judges for dropping you off, your Uber driver for the night. Kev, for me, he gets I can have a deluxe and Knickerbocker Glory.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, my God.
Stop nicking my... I'm the one who mentioned Knickerbocker Glory. You remember the other way? Oi! Brady's banana, keep out of my business.
Was that when we were talking about the Wimpy as well?
Wimpy,
and then you went on...
about Wimpy.
Oh,
I was
my
talking
God.
about Wimpy and Knickerbocker Glory. Keep out my business, Brady's banana.
Amazing. I love it.
What are you giving Ben White, my dear?
Bob's worried about me putting on weight from all the humble pies I'm going to eat. I'm giving Ben White a 9. I thought, Kev, that tackle,
It's a goal. It's a goal. He stopped a goal because if he gets through, he's just putting it in the net. 299 lights from. Come on, everybody. We need 350.
Yep.
We need 350. Come on, troops.
He's my lawyer, MK, right? And during my profile, Sophie and I said he needed minutes. Well said, MK. My Arsenal Los Angeles Gooner.
But needed minutes don't mean he's starting. Come on, let's get it right here.
Yeah.
You're trying to bring yourself up when you say need minutes. He's on the pitch. Relax.
Yeah, I love it. Kev, what are you giving Benjamin?
So far, I agree with you. I thought he was our best defender today. I thought Ben White was our best defender today. I thought I'm not saying Gabriel was poor because he wasn't, but Ben White was there for a lot of the clean-up crew. He had a lot of cleaning up to do. When that ball fell to Maddison, and Maddison was just about to take it round, and he made that tackle. Wow, fantastic. Second half, they clamped him down. Ben White gets a 9. I thought he was excellent. So he's passing, excellent. Really, really good.
Arsenal fans, I hope you put Benjamin White humble pie in your oven too. It's only fair.
Don't worry, I've got quite a few. I've got one of them industrial ones in there. There is plenty. There's mini ones, there's large ones, there's square, there's oblong ones, there's square ones. Oh, I'm telling you, everyone's getting it.
I love it. Brilliant to have you all in the house tonight. 715 of you in live chat after this fine Arsenal day. Super Kev, what you got next?
715, I want 400. Hey, listen, come on, guys. Just 400, that's all. I got my eyes on you. Come on now. Gabriel, who I thought had a decent game. I thought he didn't really have a lot up against him, if you know what I mean. Obviously, he got involved with that Iheanacho who caught him in the face, went down, and Iheanacho got a yellow card, etc. But I don't think Gabriel put a foot wrong, to be honest with yourself. I just thought Ben White had a little bit more to do than him because there was more coming down his side. Mm-hmm. And I give Gabriel an 8.5 today, so I thought it was solid and a leader, but I give him 8.5 today.
So, Kev, you know, one of the things we talked about last week, we said what we love is if Gabriel's having a blinder and Benjamin isn't, they still complement each other. Mm-hmm. If they're both having a blinder, it's blinding. Blinded by the light. But today, Benjamin was the dude and Gabriel did his job and he did it right. Didn't put too many foots wrong and was there to support, I think, on a level where Benjamin has done for Gabriel and Gabriel's just like the beast at the back. And that's what I love about the two of them and their partnership. I mean, they're really just solid together. I'll give him a 7.5 today. Kev?
7.5, okay. 7.5. Right. We move into midfield. So.
This is where it's interesting.
Are you ready for this name?
Let me hear it.
Thomas Partey! Sophie. The man who Josh wants to sell. The man who people have questioned. He's not good enough. He's not this. He's not that. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. And you know what, Sophie? I bet you were clocking some of those intricate passes that he was playing in between.
I was. I got in trouble in the airport and on the plane. I'm just saying. I got in trouble a lot today, but it was well worth it.
It's bad. Sophie, I thought he was brilliant. Honestly, I thought him and who else. I thought they were head and shoulders above anyone else on the pitch.
So I'm trying to keep up. It's a 777. It's a jumbo jet audience this evening.
777, yeah.
Our good friend, Mr. Josh from Tactical Squad actually tweeted, "The Lamborghini finally has some wheels."
Oh, listen. He's at the zoo. He's talking something weird.
And also, if you guys remember, after the red card, when he came back from AFCON, and then he had one bad game, and I was like, literally, the Partey is over. I'm done with this dude. When is he going to start performing? When is he going to start being consistent? When are we going to see the Thomas Partey from Atletico Madrid? The Partey is over. Since then, he has been our second best player. He's been amazing, sensational, leading. I'm not going to say Vieira-esque because I don't want people to come down on me. I go from saying the Partey's over to saying he's Vieira-esque, but it was very commanding.
That's more like him at Atletico Madrid. The engine room, that player who can do it all. He can nick the balls off the opposition. He's comfortable in possession. He could break things down. He can break. He can score. And he can play between lines, playing that sweet passes. Sophie, honestly, for me, it was 9.5 today. He was that good. And he is that good. Yeah. Aaron, you're right. The general. He is the general in there. He's unbelievable. He really is.
When he got the goal, Kev, I couldn't contain myself. I scared Tony. She was like, oh, my God, what happened? Because I'm on my phone and I'm in my zone, you know. And she's like, oh, my God, what happened? I go, Thomas Partey scored. And she's like, jeez. She's like, we're at the airport, you know. You're not at home or at the Emirates.
See them coming with the radios.
Yeah, psychopath in a black beanie and a jean jacket. Yeah, he was great. I'll give him a 9.
You give him a 9. I was just so pleased for him, Sophie. Because
I'm really happy for him, Kev.
There's a bit of weight on his shoulders, not just because of the past and who's played in there before, but, you know, there's a lot of fans who, you know that he can score, and he should be doing more because he can. So, you know, he can do a lot more. So I thought he was brilliant. I really do. 9.5, and let's move on.
Fun to watch, Kev. Fun to watch. 820 in live chat. 820. Good evening to each and every one of you.
820. Sophie, I'm going to be greedy. I'm going to be a little bit greedy. We want 5 ton. 500. Come on. 500. Give us 500 likes. It's not too much to ask. And we're just starting to get in the midfield now, and we're going to get to a player who everybody loves. Not this one though, Sophie. Granit Xhaka.
Okay, so Xhaka, looking to the heavens and praying right there. I thought started off well, then kind of faded in the first half, but I thought he had an absolutely solid second half. Mm-hmm. Once again, did his job. There was was it in the second half where he went on this run, Kev?
Second half, I think, yeah.
And passing the ball more forward, a little bit more speed. Again, Thomas Partey making him look good for a while.
Is that when he had a shot at the end?
Yeah, the shot, yeah.
At the end, that was first half, I think. Yeah, that was
first half, okay.
He burst kind of, and it was like, what's he doing now?
I know. Who's this?
Yeah, first half, for sure.
But look at this. I mean, this was from last season, but this is a good duo for us right now.
Yeah, that's justified. That hug and smile for them two is justified, Soph.
They're a great partnership, and for what we need right now to get our goals and do what we need to do, Super Kev, they are the perfect partnership. Long may they stay fit. Granit Xhaka, for me, gets a solid 8.
8, Sophie. I've actually got 8 down here for Granit Xhaka myself. I thought Granit Xhaka, he's still got a little bit of craziness in himself. And I don't know if you saw it, the one where the ball got played to him and he caught the ball. He was on the pitch. He caught it and then went off the pitch and was saying it was off. You know, things like that could get him booked, really. Do you know what I mean? It can.
Yeah.
Although the referee was a little bit more lenient with him. He's not doing such crazy tackles. He's playing his part, and as you quite rightly said, he's playing a little bit further forward, and that's getting him to pass the ball a bit better forward. So I think he's in a little spot that I think he's really comfortable with it. So if I'm honest with you, so
Yeah.
we rely a little bit more on Thomas Partey to be that pivot and that screen for the two centre halves, but they seem to relish what's going on. So I give him an 8 as well. I
And
really
Kev,
do.
what I like about, the shape when we have the ball and we don't have the ball, there's a switch, right? You flip the switch. When you've got the ball, things are happening, the movement's great, we're playing with a lot more speed, and then we were the worst team, in the last
Without
3
the
years
ball.
without the ball, right?
Yes.
And now without the ball, I just feel like and I think because Arteta has his players playing his way now a lot more, and we're only improving game after game, it's just night and day in terms of how we operate without the ball, our positioning, our hustle, our press, our chase, the shape,
Our reaction.
the second ball as well is just impressive. And I think Xhaka deserves credit. I really do.
Hey, listen, I think, again, I always say it's the players, Sophie. It's the players. The players have put the work in on the train. I see it. You can see the work that they've put in on the training pitch. And there's a belief about them, Sophie. In that midfield, there's a belief that they're going to dominate and they're going to get on the ball and they can hurt teams. And especially when you get a front three who can play, who can dovetail, who can interchange, who can hurt the opposition, then you're in business. Right. Shall we get on to the Norwegian master?
I just need to stretch for this one.
The Norwegian master, Sophie, who, for me, Soph, that was as good a midfield performance, craft, as you will see all season. That was poetry in motion. He was brilliant last week. That was better today. He was brilliant last week. He was better today. So I gave Thomas Partey 9.5 because he scored. But I just thought Odegaard was the top man today. Sophie gets a 10 for me today. He does. He was incredible.
Kev, I'm putting this in chat right now. Check it out. This is what I think of him. Right there. Okay, let's make the t-shirts. Let's sell a ton. This guy, unbelievable. I mean, when you look back on players that we stole from clubs, this is going to be the biggest steal of the season. And these two together today are exactly in everything that we wanted to see and wanted to be again in midfield. And it's just beginning, and we're not getting carried away. We are reacting to what we see, and that is a wonderful thing because they deserve credit today. They were masterful at their jobs. They were brilliant at what they do, Kev. And Odegaard, how he slipped through other teams is beyond me. I was always a fan, but you always were staunch on this show. I've seen him play at Real Sociedad. Arsenal fans poo-pooed this guy. Again, I'm going to keep making these points because of my Arteta humble pie that's baking in the oven. Martin Odegaard, what a player, Kev. He's improved since you were watching him in Spain, has he not?
Sophie, what you're seeing, he was doing week in, week out at Real Sociedad. But it's not the Premier League. It's a different league. It's a different tempo. He's doing this now in the fast Premier League where people were saying, will he adjust? Sometimes you see him, sometimes you don't. Sophie, he is just a master tactician. And let me tell you something. Wait till he gets a number 9. Wait until he gets somebody who we can hit on the run. Watch this space, Sophie. The guy has got it. He just has got it.
Yeah.
He has got it.
And you know what I love, Kev, is seeing someone like him just be the boss of the game when so many Arsenal fans were screaming for James Maddison, right? This is what I love. This is what I support. This is what I want my team to be. I want players who were poo-pooed to rise and shine and be strong and perform and do well. It's just a beautiful thing to watch. And my goodness, I tell you something, shoot me everyone, I don't care. Leave it at the door. To me, he's sexier than Ozil was at Arsenal in his early days. There, I said it out loud. Come at me. That's it, Kev. He gets a 10 for me.
He gets a 10. Well, Sophie, look, Ozil, when he first came, etc., we've seen some fantastic performances. But you know what? This guy, he puts the graft in as well, Soph. Anybody, it's not just him on the ball. You watch him off the ball. You watch him when the opposition's got the ball. He is grafting. And he's so calm. I don't know if anybody watched the interview with him and Thomas Partey after. It's so calm and humble. Just talking about, we've got a belief and, we'll take it game by game. And it's just nice. He's a nice lad who loves to play football. He'll do for me, so.
I'm already getting the Ozil stuff, which I knew. Some agree, some don't. But you know what he has that Ozil never had? Leadership. He's a leader. He's a man on the pitch and he leads and he's young. He is 23 years old.
Jeez.
And someone just said Ozil, he was special. I'm not saying he wasn't. I'm just saying I see a little bit more special because he's got leadership. He takes accountability on the pitch. He hustles. He runs. He does it all. He's very, very special. Kev, someone said that he's the closest thing they've seen to Dennis Bergkamp. Do you think do you compare him more to a Dennis or an Ozil type player?
Because of the left foot and because of the midfield schema, I still think he's a different player at times to Ozil because Ozil relied on speed a lot of times as well because Ozil could run. He's a quick player. Martin Odegaard, not only is he technically gifted, but his brain is so much quicker than a lot of other players.
Yeah.
They're not on his wavelength yet. You get this team working on his wavelength, I'm telling you, we will do major bits once we get everybody on his wavelength. The fact of the matter is, Sophie, he is only 23 years old.
Yeah.
How old did we get Ozil? Ozil was older than 23.
Well, he came to us very seasoned. He had a lot of success at Real Madrid. He was playing with the best players in the world. Odegaard was training with the best players of the world. He never got a chance at Real Madrid to actually play with the best players in the world. And you know what? When you see Luka Modric going into the twilight, Kev, and that midfield shifting and how, you know what I mean? They've got to be thinking, how did we let this happen?
So, I've told you, Edu went over to Spain with the balaclavas on. I'm telling
Thomas
you.
Partey,
He got Thomas Partey, come on. And then Martin Odegaard, he had to put the balaclava back on. He went over there and he got him for 30 million.
That's funny.
I mean, Thomas Partey and Odegaard, both players cost what Leicester wanted for James Maddison.
Yeah. And look, Kev, this is when they were both, duking it out in Spain, that picture in the middle. Yeah. And of course now as Gunners.
That's teammates now, fantastic.
The two of them, great buys. Brilliant.
Fantastic.
Brilliant bit of business.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
It's great to see them settled now. So that's the best thing to say. They're settled now.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. Let's
950 in live chat, Kev. 950 in live chat.
Well, we need 600, so we need 600. 6 ton, please, everybody. Just whoever hasn't, just touch that like button, please.
I mean, if
5 wins on the spin.
If you love... Oh, sorry, Nuno right there. If you love this, look at Udi behind Thomas as well and Gabby getting sucked in. If you love seeing these guys come to fruition, if you love a bit of this, come on, kiss it. Do it.
Just give us a little bit of love on that like button. Love the like button. But with the lad who was in that picture with Odegaard and Partey, Martinelli, he's next.
Okay.
Gabby Martinelli, Sophie. What's your thoughts on him today?
Again, first half started off with a bang. Here's the scoop, Kev. And tell me what you think about this. I think Martinelli, people expect him to be this Brazilian magician every game.
Of course they do.
But I think what he does off the ball is impressive. And his hustle tracking back is really impressive. He never, ever stops and he never, ever gives up on a ball. And even if he thinks he can't win a second ball, he will hustle for it no matter where it is, where he is on the pitch or if he's going to go into the boardings, if he's going to, whatever it is. I love his tenacity. I love his hustle. And I think that's the part of his game where he deserves more credit. And this is why, I know Ozil is this World Cup winning, magician that had a phenomenal career. But the reason why I put Odegaard there or thereabouts with him at this point is because of the work rate, because of the maturity, the hustle, the never give up. And Martinelli really has that. And I think that's why Arteta starts him at this point. And I'm not saying Emile Smith Rowe doesn't have that, but for the way we play right now and a little bit of that protection that I think Arteta wants as part of this team right now, Kev, I think he offers that, and I'll give him a 7.5. What do you think?
Listen, for me, I think Martinelli is exactly what we need on that left-hand side, because he is that threat. I don't know if you watch when he gets the ball and he's 1v1. A second and a third player come over. They don't leave him 1v1. They left him 1v1 once in the first half, and he went round him. After that, it was like, make sure you back him up. He needs protection. So again, Martinelli has to. This is all part of his learning as well, Sophie. Because look, we know his talent, but he's learning on the job. It's important that these guys learn when the double team comes or the triple team. You start seeing him shifting the ball quicker inside, which worked for us in the first half, especially.
Yes.
It really worked for us. Second half, we saw him get 1v1, and you see him skin them on the outside where we cut into the box along the goal line and nearly set up a second goal, etc., etc. I thought Gabby done fine, Sophie. I thought he done fine. I thought his work rate, you're always going to get work rate out of him, that's for sure. Would have loved to see him get a couple more chances at goal. But sometimes sometimes it's not always your day, Sophie. Sometimes it's not. Sometimes who was getting all the joy, maybe Saka was on the other side. But Martinelli, he played his part. So I mirror you, Sophie. I'm gonna give him a 7.5 tonight. I thought he done a good job.
Yeah. I think that even if you've got the talent and you can be a game changer, if it's not that kind of game for you, what else do you offer? We saw our regression with Aubameyang when he couldn't get the pace, when he couldn't get the goals. Kev, he didn't offer the team much more, in the last year of his Arsenal career. But with some of these other players, they've bought into whatever it is Arteta is selling, and they're injecting it. And you've got to give them credit for that, yeah.
And they're helping all round. It's not just one facet of the team. These guys help on many facets of the team. So, fair play. Let's look at Bukayo Saka today, Sophie.
Yeah. Here's the scoop. Gosh, is this really Arsenal Football Club? We've been so deprived for so long that when your shining star doesn't have a great game, we actually have players who can make it up for him. But even him not having a great game, we expect so much. He still had a good game. You know what I mean? Any excuse to put this picture up, people. I know you're not bored of it yet. What he does, Kev, my goodness. It's like I think of that picture of when we played Manchester City, right? Mm-hmm. And there's like 5 or 6 Manchester City players.
Blue shirts around him, yeah.
Around him. That's what he does. He opens up spaces. He's become a danger man at this young age in the Premier League, playing for the Arsenal. He takes defenders with him and he opens up spaces for midfield and for whoever's playing up front or whoever's moving into those channels. And I think that is important. He gets a 7.5 for me today. Even though he wasn't great, he still contributed.
Well, I'll tell you what, Sophie. I don't agree with your 7.5. I thought at times he was unplayable today. You watch the game. I'm sure you watch it again. You watch it again and you see some of the stuff he does. That poor lad Thomas, who was playing fullback. My goodness.
Yeah. Well, he gave him he made him. I think he has vertigo. That guy now.
Well, you know, whether it's over the top, there's times where he's receiving the ball, he was cutting inside and putting the afterburners on. He was unplayable at times, and he saw some of the treatment he got second half, where he was getting kicked from pillar to post. Sophie, you know, look, we've seen him have more productive days, but I still think he was a handful at times, unplayable, and I give him 8.5 today, Sophie. I thought he was really good. I did.
Yeah. I agree with GB. He always carries a threat, and that's exactly what I was saying. Even if he's not having his best game, I still think he carries a threat. And it's mixed. There's some people that are giving him a 7, an 8. Some people are giving him a 10, an 8.5. Very, very interesting. He had a very good first half, Magic Mike. I agree with you. But again, I'm not sure.
It adjusted second half. Yeah. It changed second half. And we became more solid with our attack, as opposed to just being gung-ho and open. So, Mike, 8.71563.
What's this? So Casey Sophie is in a bad mood tonight. Second harsh. Mark not liking it. Am I in a bad mood? No. Giving everyone 8s and 9s. Some couple of 7.5s. It's all good. And look, Magic Mike's giving the old ice skating score. So we're all good here. All right, who's next?
Right, it's our captain, fantastic, Alexander Lacazette, who obviously we've wanted to score. Sophie's never gone 10 games without a goal. And he got his goal today, played his part, and I think he got taken up to save him a little bit for what's coming in the week.
Liver pool.
Yes.
Definitely.
Yes, I do.
I love him. I always have and I always will. And no one's ever going to change my mind on what he does and the type of play he is and what he brings to this team. And I tell you, we better have a plan for when he's gone. Because I know he doesn't get the goals that you guys want. You want a hat-tricks every game, 2 goals, whatever it is. He is such a glue in so many different regards. And another player who is a threat. And Kev, the way he holds up the ball and the way he turns, I love it when strikers do that. The way they hold up a ball and turn. I know a certain Super Kevin Campbell that was pretty good at that. It's just a great thing to watch.
Well, I think it's to know what the team need at the right time, Soph. There's times where he will play it back first time. There's times where he has to hold it. And there's time where he has to turn the defender in order to get us out the opposite side or whatever. Lacazette does it in abundance, doesn't he? He's so good at it as well. And you know what? He's not a big fella. He's small, but he's strong. And he goes up against some of the big lads at centre half and stuff. You know, the Soyunchus of this world, etc. Martin, he's battling these guys. I thought he had another cracking game. Gets the opportunity to get his penalty, Sophie. And what does he do? Puts it in the top corner. Fantastic.
Under pressure, Kev.
Well, he's not scored in, 9 games. This was the 10th game. And he slots it away You knew we'd win the game then. It was just a matter of how many we'd win by. So fair play to Lacazette for sticking that away. I'm so pleased for him. And I'm giving Lacazette 8.5 tonight, Sophie.
I'm giving him an 8.9.
8.9.
Kev, yeah, I know that. Thank you
Not
guys.
a 9.
An 8.9.
Not a 9.
Because he can't have the same markers Benjamin, Udi, and God and Partey.
Okay.
Kev,
Yes.
I know we want a prolific 20-goal a season striker, but the way Arteta, maybe we should talk about this in the week, not tonight. I'm going to save this for tomorrow night.
Okay.
All right, with Lacazette. Because
We can talk about it if you want. And we
honestly,
can talk about
I get
it
a little bit,
tomorrow.
I get a little bit choked up at the thought of him leaving. And I know I'm being like super soft and maybe too emotional, but just seeing his leadership, what he brings to the team, the way he plays, his contributions, like he does things that people don't appreciate, don't even realize.
Yeah, I agree with that 100%. But do you know what, Sophie? Give us another 10, give us another 15 goals. Where would we be?
We'd be challenging.
That's what we got to look at. You know, I understand the sentiment. I love Lacazette. I love the way he plays. But Sophie, at the end of the day, we need more goal output. We do.
I know.
And I know it's a tough one because he's like a talisman for us at the moment. He really is. He makes everybody better around him, which is brilliant. But we need 15 more goals from a striker. If we can get another 15 goals, we're up there challenging, Soph, really.
I want us to be ruthless, Kev, and ruthlessness has got us here getting rid of all the dirt, you know?
He's not dirt, by the way.
But he's not. He's not.
No.
Anyway, we'll talk about it more in the week. Okay.
We'll talk about it more in the week.
Yeah. Who's next?
Right. So that's the team. We're
Yeah.
going to go on to the subs. We've got ESR and Pepe who came on.
Well, Pepe came on late, didn't he?
Late.
And 85th. ESR came on a bit earlier, right?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly. ESR came on.
I don't have my stats in. Why is my computer not moving down? I wanted to read out the stats, damn it. Damn.
ESR came on in the 78th minute. Nicola Pepe in the 85th. And Eddie came on in the 88th. So, you know, it's... look.
I'll give him 6s.
Yeah.
Just for wearing
they
the
didn't
shirt.
They didn't really have a lot of opportunity to get going kind of thing. But listen, they came on and they kept it how it was, which is fine.
Yeah.
So
We had 20 plus shots on goal today, Kev. They had like 6 or 7. I mean, we dominated today. And
do you know something, Sophie? If you look at us in the last few games, we've had a lot of efforts at goal. Mm-hmm. It seems like, do you remember where we discussed, I think mostly last season, but quite a bit earlier in the season, where defensively we were all okay, but we couldn't get it together going forward consistently.
No.
Now it seems to be taking a bit more shape, our offense.
Yeah.
Especially in transition, we're starting to play a bit more freer. We're getting shots and efforts at goal. I mean, Thomas Partey, remember, so after Thomas Partey scored, he hit the bar with a shot from outside the bar. Where he bent it and he hit the bar. Can you imagine him getting a couple?
Oh my God, that would have been
the
crazy.
roof would have fell in. But
Kev,
brilliant.
you know the other thing too is after 2 dodgy games at the back, even though we won, the defense came back like stellar today. Like they were ready to play. Ready to play.
And again, Sophie, we needed that because we are playing dangerous opposition. We know how dangerous Leicester are. And the players that they've got, no matter how they mix and match it, they're an outfit that can beat anybody on the day. That's for sure.
And
but
Kev,
just not today.
Right, we played a very good Wolves team this season who are unforgiving, giving up goals. We played a Brentford team that we had to score and pay back. We played a Watford team that is fighting for survival. You saw what they did today. We saw, and then we had to face the next, as someone just said, the next step up, right? Hey, Albert, how you doing? Hope everything is good in your universe.
Albert, nice one.
We had to face, I don't care what form they're in this season. Leicester are a team that have done very well in the last 5 years in the Premier League. They're playing in Europe. And this is the first step up to what we need to do next, Kev. And we, if I can be polite, we bitch slapped them. In the second half, we absolutely went to school.
We showed our dominance, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it's unusually so, we don't show our dominance for most of the game. Yeah, in the second half of the first half, they had their opportunities, but we just clamped them down in the second half, which is this is how the top teams do it. And we're learning. We're learning how to shut them down. We're learning how to nullify their key and most dangerous players. And that's what we've done. And it was a beautiful to watch, Soph. It really was.
I mean, hit the like button if you enjoy watching Arsenal play football again.
Exactly. How many in and how many likes? We need 600, or have we hit 600 yet?
We, Tammy or someone's going to let us know. We got Magic in the house too. I know Mark's keeping his eye on it as well. But Kev, we've got to do some marks. Here we go again. Another week for Soph.
Oh, can I say, are we going to mark the crowd first?
10.
Who I thought
11.
Again, 11. I thought the crowd were absolutely brilliant behind this team today. They were fantastic. Cheers, Gary.
We got 647, Kev. But you want how many now? Do you want 800 or 700?
How many?
800. There's 960 people here.
900. If
we could get another 100.
If there's 960, give me 750.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't even turned on the ad button tonight. This is, I'm just excited that Arsenal won. We don't care. Give us it.
Give me 750. Give me 750. Give Sophie 760, and we'll be all right.
I was just like, I was getting off the plane. I was in the car, and Tony's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Prepping the show. I'm prepping the show."
I tell you what. Depending on what Sophie says next, if you like it, hit the like button. We're gonna mark Mikel Arteta now. There you go. So,
Papa, can you hear me? Papa. Anyone for tennis? I'll give him a big fat 8.5. How about them apples? Is that fair?
Of course, it's fair. It's your mark. 8.5 for the manager.
He can.
I give him a 9. You know why, Soph?
Tell me.
This was massive pressure for us. Coming home, 5th game, 1-4 on the spin, 5th game at home, potential banana skin against a team who tend to get the better of us at home. But what did we do? We were exciting first half. We had to weather a little bit of a storm, end of the first half. And second half, we showed our dominance, and we put them to the sword. We dominated them second half. And credit to the manager. We had some terrible performances last season and earlier on this season, didn't we? And we gave him hardly anything. But you know what, Soph? Credit where credit's due. He's got this team prepared. He's got the lads all playing for him. He's got the belief in the team as well. And the players are going out and doing what he's asking. So I give him a 9, my dear. I give him a 9.
You know what, Kev? You are so convincing that I'm going to shift my 8.5 by 0.5 to a 9.
So a 9. Oh, Sophie, lovely. Lovely stuff.
I mean, there's no denying that the Arsenal are a better football team. And yes, of course, Kev always says it's about the players. and we have a different player DNA and profile. But it all has to come together somehow with leadership, right? And I've always said that. That's been my mantra. You know, at work, I've got to lead my team. I've got to motivate them and inspire them if we've got goals to reach. Kev has a different opinion about motivation because he thinks when you put the Arsenal shirt on, you just play, man. You roll.
No, not just play. Not just play. But you have to execute what you train and prepare to do. And early Arteta stuff, it worked in the FA Cup. Last season, it didn't work in the first half of the season. We improved in the second half, but it's a season. But we've been pretty consistent this season, so haven't we? Pretty consistent.
We went through a bit of a blip, but you and I said, how is this team going to handle the adversity they faced in the January, especially? How are they going to face and come out of the August and early September, which was hellacious? People were talking about us being in a relegation fight. How's that relegation fight going right now? You know, there's a question that's been asked, and I'm going to say this, and I might shock you guys. Some of you may faint. But if Mikel Arteta makes top 4 this season with this team, after what we've been through and where we were after 3 games, he's got to be considered for Manager of the Year.
I agree with that, Soph. I agree with that. I think he'll be right up there. I think he'll be right up there now, Soph.
Someone just took over my body. Someone just took over my body.
Hey,
no,
listen.
But I'm not one of those people I say it as I see it, and I've said it as I've seen it, game on game on game, since he's taken the job. And when you see it now, there is no denying. If you are saying Arteta out at this point, I'm sorry, you're bonkers. You're bonkers. Absolute bonkers.
By the way, Soph, where are they? Are they still around? Are they still around, Soph?
No. There's some. Absolutely, there's some there. I've heard some people talk up radio shows. I've actually been crediting him for a few months now. Maybe you've missed some of the shows.
Yeah.
I just call it as I see it. I did just say what I think I said. Absolutely. I mean, seriously, when you think... Here's what I want next, though, right? And I'm never afraid. I just speak my truth. But I also believe that the evolution of him and this team, where people will really see... I think people have seen us differently, Kev, this season, and I think they see us differently this season. But that evolution, man, if we can get a result against Liverpool, if we can get something from Chelsea, West Ham, Man United, then people will be really super talking about the Arsenal being back. If we don't, it's not a disaster, but I also don't want the narrative to be that we choked having 3 games in hand on Manchester United, because I don't want us to go back. I want him to succeed, you know.
Of course. We've got momentum, haven't we?
We do. You know, and in my opinion, with the Europa League and the way that went and the way he played and losing to the man he replaced, that to me, any other top team, that's a sackable offence. But I've never been one this season saying, after the first 3 games, I was definitely that person that was like, okay, you know what, we need to look at his employment agreement and maybe start thinking about something different here. Because it was a roll on from the Europa League. But to see him make the turn with his players, and I just feel like there's no way you could be talking about him. If you're doing that, you just want to be right, in my opinion.
Yeah.
What do you think, Kev?
Yeah, just to prove the point that you know, Arteta out is Arteta out. Because if you can't see the upturn in fortune, the upturn in performance, the upturn in belief, if you can't see it, then you don't see it.
Or you don't want to see it.
You don't want to see it, you know?
Yeah. I mean, clip it. I'll clip it for you, no problem. If he succeeds, my team succeeds. And you know what? I'm loving what I'm seeing right now. I'm enjoying watching my team play football.
Winning,
and it's a beautiful thing.
Cures all, Sophie.
You've said that from day one.
Said it once and I'll say it again. It does. And by the way, Dan Potts believes it as well because
Yeah.
he's seeing it. He's seeing it.
Yeah, I mean, you guys may
Potsy
not
is
be
buzzing.
seeing what Potsy's saying. Like, he really is.
He's
My
buzzing.
twin's taken over the show. You know, he is. He is definitely. Even I think Magic Mike was out at a restaurant last night, and one of the desserts was humble pie, and he sent a picture of it to Dan, and he goes, "I've got your dessert ready for you." So.
He texts me saying that the humble pie's in the oven, and I said, "Yeah, oh yeah." Said, "I've got one here for you as well, mate. Don't worry."
You know what it is too, Kev? I'm a person in life that if I'm wrong about something, I will apologize for it or I will say it out loud.
And hold your hands up, yeah.
I've always been, because I've had jobs where I've had to be accountable, like, and big jobs where, you know, if you
There's a lot riding on it.
There's a lot riding on it, but if it doesn't work out, if it works out, I'm going to be given all the glory. No, my team gets it. But if it doesn't work out, I'm going to be the one taking the heat, and rightly so, because the buck stops with me, right? And you've always said that about managers, whether it's George Graham, whether it's Arsene Wenger, whether it's Mikel Arteta. And in life, I think, I just had this conversation with my friend when we were like out in the wilderness about accountability, you know, being able to admit like when you make a mistake or when you're wrong. And I think those things are important. It's part of, I think it can, as old as I get, I'm still learning, I'm still growing, right? And so I think it's important to recognize those things, you know?
You never stop learning, Soph. Never. And you know what? Even the youngest baby can teach you something.
Absolutely.
Right? And having a manager who was a novice coming in, people were up in arms, remember? They were up in arms. But sometimes that's what it takes to clear up. He's got to have a vision to clear up the crap that we've got in the club. Because if we're honest, what we're seeing now should tell us a lot about what was before. It's very important. What we're seeing now, we never had before. So the dressing room wasn't right. After all those years, the dressing room weren't right. Even though we had good players, why couldn't we get to the promised land? We couldn't get there because the culture wasn't right. And as some of those players started getting a little bit older, Sophie, it started to get worse.
Yeah.
You know, so
No,
fair play to, we got to give some credit, as you're right.
Definitely.
But you're right, Sophie. You're right. We are accountable, and you and I are accountable for being on here.
Yeah. But I just feel like the times where I was critical, I felt it was deserved based on what I was seeing. But our show has also tried to find positive. We always try to find a positivity in where we're going, what we're seeing, how it's evolving. And you've definitely been a voice of support for the manager. There's no doubt about that. 100%. Fern Gully, by the way, I worked on that movie and I had to dress up as Krista, the fairy, for a sales meeting once. Okay? Just telling you that out loud. I'm not groveling. Don't mistake. This is the difference, right? I'm an adult. I don't grovel. I've never groveled. If I was a groveler, I'd be head of 20th Century Fox. I'm not a groveler. Okay, just saying. But Kev, I want to see, can we, and we'll talk about it tomorrow night. We'll start talking about it next week. Getting the points against Liverpool, getting the points against Chelsea.
Now, it's a prove it stage.
Yes. Forget the process. It's the prove it stage.
It's the prove it stage.
Yeah.
Brilliant. And you know what? We're here now. 5 wins under our belt.
Yep. And you got it right. You called all 5.
But we can't be going into these games not thinking we can do it. We've got to go into it thinking, bring it on. Got to. We have to.
Kev, Jenny, Gunnar Russ, accountable, sleeping while Highbury squad is on. Gianni Judges probably got him drunk, dropped him off. Kick him.
Jenny, wake him up. Wake him up. Tell him we're just mentioning him on the Highbury squad. Get up.
So good. And Thunder Road, what are you waiting for? What is it you're waiting for, by the way? And yeah,
Blood
immediately
Rider, lots
after
of
this, go to a Burkamp Wonderland and watch a Sunday roast with Danny and Mike. It's always fun. Kev, we're going to be back live tomorrow night for Monday
Yes,
Madness.
we are.
I've got some stellar top 5 talking points for you. It's going to be superb as we head into the big game against Wayne. I'm not dreading the game. And no matter what happens, I'm really excited about seeing how this team is going to go at it with Liverpool. And again, another little revenge game here, Super Kev.
Listen, it's our time. We're going into this with some confidence. So again, they're coming to our pad. Yeah, they got away with it in the Carabao Cup. But it's time we smacked them in the mouth. That Liverpool lot, Bonkers and his boys. It's time we smacked you in the mouth, us Gooners.
Tell them,
So
Kev.
come on, Arsenal. It's time to get right. But you know
All
what?
right.
We're going to deal with that in the week. We'll speak about it tomorrow, squad.
Definitely. And here's the scoop. So our clocks went forward here, Kev. I'm only 7 hours behind you now.
Oh, see, Sophie, you're close.
Getting closer and closer.
Hold on. Let me just see if it. Can you smell that?
The gravy, yeah.
Oh, you can't smell. You can't smell it yet.
Tony actually asked me today, again, because I haven't chosen my flavour pie, but she's also like saying with the whipped cream, do you want it like Miracle Whip or do you want it iced? Or like lemon meringue? And I'm like, are you joking me right now? Are you having a laugh?
It's got to be
She's like, I'm just getting prepped. I'm getting prepped. So
It's got to be the squirty stuff, isn't it?
yeah. And look, guys, we still have Liverpool, Chelsea, West Ham, Manchester United to come. There's 12 more cup finals to go. We've got Crystal Palace as well. We've got Aston Villa coming up, Southampton.
Big games.
Brighton.
There's
Big games, Kev. Congratulations to our Arsenal women. 3-0 today.
Well done.
Great result
ladies.
against Brighton. Hopefully our men can emulate that in a couple of weeks. Right.
How many likes have we got?
I can't see them, but
Tammy?
someone will tell me. Tell us.
How many likes have we got?
Yeah,
Pete?
Tammy, tell us. And as Tammy's going to tell us, or someone's going to tell us how many likes we have, I'm on TalkSport a bit later on with Paul Ross to wax lyrical about our Gooners. And tomorrow morning at 7:30 a.m. Super Kev, I am back on Sky Sports News early kickoff with a Manchester United fan this time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Well, Sophie, I think listen. This is the scoop, everyone. I've got a message here
Oh, yeah.
from who is it? It's from TalkSport.
Oh, are you coming on?
Want me on at 5:30?
Gotta go. Now? Wait, it's 9 o'clock.
5:30 UK time.
Oh, AM. We're on the breakfast show or in the afternoon?
No, 5:30 is in the morning, not in the,
Oh, so the breakfast show.
whatever it is. So I'll probably
Right. So Kev's on
to reply.
TalkSport.
No, I'm not. Well, I'll have to reply to it. I'll reply to it and see if I'm. So
Okay.
I might be on at 5:30 in the morning. Pete.
Okay, cool. Well, look, you haven't had us live for a few days. Thank you for enjoying and supporting the pre-recorded content that we put up. It's been epic. If you miss Kev Says, please go back and look at the questions because we're reading out your
Jenny.
answers.
Look at your heart. Look at the heart. So
Yeah,
getting
love
some
it.
heart. Bless.
And thank you again to Super Kev for his beautiful message on Friday and all the love hearts that I got. I appreciate each and every one of you. You guys, we're all a team. Me, you, Kev, Squaddies. We make this show happen together. So thanks to each and every one of you. So catch me on TalkSport a bit later with Paul Ross. Sky Sports News tomorrow morning. Super Kev is on TalkSport tomorrow. And we have the great Rebecca Lowe with us on Tuesday. So we'll be asking her lots of questions. So be sure to come into the chat box and we'll give you guys an opportunity to ask questions to Rebecca Lowe as well. We have Tom Canton on with Dan Potts for the next episode of Get Off the Potsy later this week. And then next week, we have one of the two Robbies on, an Inside the Dressing Room special with Super Kev and Robbie Earl. And that is going to be epic of epic proportions. Kev, we're going to get stuck into some good old-fashioned old school talk. And we'll also talk to him about what's happening in the game today. Over to you, Kev.
Well, listen, everybody. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 wins on the bounce. Puts everybody in a great mood. Tell your loved ones you love them. We love ya. Squaddies, you know what time it is. Wherever you are in the world, take good care. We love ya, and we'll see you tomorrow. Hit the like button on the way out. At ease, squaddies.
Don't forget to go watch Magic Mike and Danny on the Sunday Roast, the Book and Wonderland.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.